Pick 'em, clip 'em, and light 'em, boys. Deadwood Tobacco's about to blow some smoke. Introducing the lineup for tonight. Your pretty boy and host, the always handsome Pierce. The freestyle and visionary of Deadwood Tobacco, Wild Bill. Fresh off the boat and quick with his smoke, introducing Stash. All right, hello everybody and welcome to the DTC Blowin' Smoke podcast. My name is Handsome Pierce. With me as usual is Mr. Bill.
What's up?
And Mr. Stash.
Hello.
Today we are going to be walking through a little bit of a recap of what's going on, making sure that everybody knows kind of what DTC is up to. What are we going to re-encapsulate?
Switcher, let's
Jesus
recap the
Christ.
Connecticut game.
Yeah, who won that Connecticut game?
No
I
one.
can't remember. Who
No
the
one.
Fuck?
The judges found
No,
a
there was-
default, and there was some hidden agenda there with secret messages being passed from the Chinese, a.k.a. through Russia and Ethan to Pierce. Therefore, you were now in the Gulag prison.
I don't know what you're talking about, but that one that I had was so delicious, and then I got that subtle note of change, and I was like, this must be a cabinet. And I was fucking right. I don't like to brag.
Hey, by the way,
Yeah.
Tony, 2 sticks on the table. One of them's a Connecticut. Go ahead and take your pick.
Yeah.
But when you think about it, recapping that, right, a lot of people probably looked at us and were like, I thought you guys knew things.
Right.
Well, in fact, we did. But when you take the band off, everything changes.
Yes.
Yep.
You can smoke it, you can taste it. But then you're like, all right, what am I going to guess? Go through the humidor? What do I
We have an advantage because we know what we have.
Right.
Now, you could do this to just about anybody, and I guarantee you 95% of the time they will guess wrong.
Oh, for sure. 95 is probably
That's being generous.
pretty generous. Yeah.
I will give them the fact that, see, 95% then takes into 2 equations there. One, they have to know what the brand is, but they can describe the cigars they smoke and they can get that right, which is what we kind of did
Right.
in regards to the Ecuadorian wrapper
right.
versus the Connecticut wrapper, which tastes like what and how does that taste?
You know, the notes we were getting out of it.
Yeah.
Well,
Yada,
it's,
yada, yada.
even that, I mean, you don't have a whole lot of people. I mean, maybe you do that. Maybe they're walking through a humidor and smoking, 800 different facings to get a taste for everything. But once you get to 150, shit starts kind of colliding together a little bit.
150.
Yeah.
I can get past 5 and I'm screwed up. What are you talking about?
Well, not in one day. I'm not saying 150 in one day.
Well,
Although we have tried on
yeah,
special event
yeah,
nights to get
there's-
through at least 150. No, it was a really fun time. Thank you for all the feedback from everybody.
Hey, wait a minute. We did one time get through 100 and some odd sticks.
In
at
one
an event.
night?
Yeah, because we had
That was before he was there.
19, yeah, but it was 19 hours, and we all smoked per hour. So that's almost 20 times 5. That's 100. We did it. High five.
Holy shit.
And we killed 5 out of the 6 kegs.
That definitely wasn't me.
No, wasn't me either.
But you guys,
Narrow that one down.
yeah. I wonder who that might have
Well,
been.
we're like, we can't sell it. We got to get rid of it. I'm like, all right.
So you just did a suicide of beer.
Pretty much.
Challenge
All I can taste is the root beer and the orange. This is fucking crazy. Other than that, you guys just got back from a trip, am I right?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man. Where'd you go?
We went down to see the people of Honduras.
It wasn't Jamaica.
I can tell you that.
No, it was interesting. We went and retweaked some things, fixed some things, and recreated some things. So that's a lot of things.
That's a lot of things. Successfully.
You should have seen it. The
succession.
one thing we did see, which was pretty amazing, but at the same time, they could get screwed over by the Honduran government. They're putting solar panels, right? Because a lot of sun, cloud cover, and all that. So they're going to recoup some of that energy. But if they recoup too much and don't use enough from the federal government, they jack up the price. Even though you might only say use whatever the measurement they're using, 1, right? But you're used to doing 2. Well, guess what? That 1 is now the cost of 2. So they get their money anyways. Found that out. But there's a new factory at CLE that was built. It's kind of neat. First floor is going to be storage. Second floor is like a nice open area with tables so they can have their lunch and get a breeze. And then the third floor has its own stairway to heaven there. And I understand that is where your future healthcare is coming from. Yeah.
I got some slides. I was just telling the guys, man, when we were there last year at this exact time, we stayed up in the Amistron Valley at Julio Arroyo's place. And
shout out to the United States Army.
Yeah.
Boom.
You're in the midst of the fields outside of Don Lee, sitting up in his house. Box factories up there. And it was the coolest, biggest wood box factory that I've ever seen. And then if you look at this photo in the lower left-hand corner, if you're watching us, I mean, this factory is immense. They've got, to the right of that, they have all of these chambers with air exchange for spraying the boxes. These
Everything.
Dudes, when we arrived, these guys were working the night shift, and they were pumping stuff out around the clock. This new factory was amazing, super cool.
All in stages, right? So think of Ford's assembly line.
Right on.
So they compete too, right? Like two dudes are doing 2 sets of boxes. Say they got 50. One dude's doing the lid, sanding it down. The other dude's fixing the box, and they're competing in teams against the other table.
Well, that's always good to make it a little bit fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It doesn't create more dust because, like Ethan said, those vacuums, man, it just sucks it up and puts it all outside into a big little container. So you don't even have to walk outside and see the dust.
So
and it's just sick.
Let's rewind a little bit. Like when you're taking this trip, what's kind of the steps that, like before you went, what are kind of the steps that brought you down to Honduras to be able to tour the box factory and the tobacco fields and all that other good jazz?
Without bringing up dirt and old skeletons.
Yeah.
Relationships, right? So after about 18 years in this industry, you meet people and you've seen it when you're with me at trade shows.
Yep.
I'm not going to tell you who the cat is, but we're going to see each other and we're going to do our little thing. And you might see them in magazines and things like that, and there's a few of those people. So I've always talked to these cats differently because they put their pant legs one leg at a time like me. Mm-hmm. So when I ran into a situation, right? Oh,
but after they're on, they make gold records, right?
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is, and I'm a straightforward, honest cat with them, and I've always been like that because when I came into the industry, they might have been a little farther developed down the road. Now, some of these cats own their own manufacturing facilities, they own their own cigar lines, and when you know these people that are out there and they see you working hard, digging in the trenches, and then getting out of the trenches and learn how to lay down the railroad tracks for your life, they want to help you. Mm-hmm. Through conversation, I had a guy out there named Miguel came up with an idea for me that I was pitching to him, and he helped me come up with 3 words, Chasing the Dragon. We added the Deadwood Tobacco Company on front of it. Now, Miguel gave it to me in an email, and he's like, look, man, we can't help you with that. That's not our thing. He gave me another guy's name, which this other guy I've known for 18 years, he was a Mo Camacho rep back in Ohio when I first started. He's now Tom Lazuka. He owns something, Silent 13 CLE.
Yep.
So when I talked to Tom was in the shop. He pulled me off to the side and noticed something, and I was like, well, that's funny you say that. Here's my idea, and I laid it out to him. And then Ethan gets an opportunity to go to the trade show, TPE, right, about a year ago.
Yep.
And without giving the whole diatribe of the story, I'll just say Ethan will now travel with
style?
Nah, bro, a passport. He cost me. He cost me money, man. Mm-hmm. But that's okay because we did get down to Honduras, and a year ago when we sat around and had the initial discussion and got the head of production, the head of marketing over at CLE, head of production pulled me off the side and he's like, "Look, man, I don't do this kind of stuff." And I was like, "Good," because neither do I. Mm-hmm. And we created something. By the end of the week, we had the boxes laid out. We already took the logo down. We solidified that. We came up with DTC Chasing Dragon, 3 SKUs, 3 shapes. And then we pumped it out, man. Right. See, people are willing to help you But at some point in time, you got to pull your big boy pants up, put your belt on, and do the hard work. So what you've been able to do with us here at DTC the last year by developing and pushing out this product from your perspective, this is just another attribute, and that's why we were able to sell about
Carry the one.
18,000, 21,000 sticks in less than a
Times
year because
two.
we had 4 months. Hey, man, numbers don't roll like that with me.
Well,
I don't have to do that.
It's kind of funny for me to think about it, like especially sitting here talking about like 18 years in the business and you're fucking working, you're grinding, you're making relationships and all this other stuff, and then some woohoo boy or girl comes in and in an instant picks one, lights one, puts one out, and walks out the door. I just sometimes I just don't like. I obviously have an appreciation for all the work that goes behind it,
Right.
and all this hard labor on one side, the distribution, and then all of a sudden the shipping and all this other stuff that now I'm kind of wrapped into. It just gives you a greater appreciation, but it also makes you go, I just, you're giving your 30-second explanation to make sure that this person knows to the best of their abilities what this cigar entails, what the flavor profile is, all this other stuff.
Pierce,
just
stop,
for them
stop.
to have.
I'm going to use this as a teaching moment
Yeah.
for you. If that person walked out and didn't finish that cigar and hurt your heart,
No, not hurt my heart. It just
Yeah.
made me think.
it hurt your heart.
Yeah. If they smash it in the ashtray, I just chase them down and
Well, look, the etiquette's one.
Put it down your throat?
Look,
Yeah,
the etiquette's one thing, but we all know when we explain the cigar to them what we think it is based upon the attributes of the filler binder wrapper. That person might be still nervous, right? And be
Right.
like, okay, that sounds really good. I'm going to do that. But that person might have inhaled it, not paid attention. It's like, I got to get out of here. I'm going to get green. But he also might have got a text message. But the other thing I'm going to tell you is maybe we gave him the wrong size. And it just fucked his palate up.
Right.
So there's many options, but you're right. When you see a little bit of what you've seen from the manufacturing side on just raw materials and what it takes to create a band, let alone when you got the cigar and did you dial in the sweetness correctly? Because everybody knows Deadwood Tobacco Company had in 2009 Sweet Jane, Fat Bottom Betty, Crazy House, Leather Rose, right? Yeah. Made by Drew Estate. This new project is our project. This is going to get us health care. This is not going to be as sweet. I didn't want it that way. I wanted the berries and the nuggets and these things to come out. These adult attributes, so when you're after dinner and you want something sweet besides a brandy, you can have one of these. Booyah!
Right. I'm just saying that when people come in, they're
my
not
shameless
necessarily thinking about like the years and years and years of rapport that you've been building with the cigar culture at hand, or in general. And it's just like a beer. You walk in and you're like, oh, I'll take a Bud Light or a Shiner or whatever. You don't ever really sit down and go like, holy shit, these guys came over from Germany and they did this and there's such a workforce behind it and yada, yada, yada.
Right.
And on the other side, when you're thinking about it, obviously you know a little bit more than the general consumer or what have you, but it just gives you a greater appreciation in your mind. And that's what you're trying to put into your sales pitch, basically.
True.
I'm going to flip something for you now.
Flip it. Smack it up, flip it,
So,
rub it down. Make it
a sweet cap style cigar, right?
Creepy.
yeah.
A sweet cap style cigar isn't necessarily my cup of tea to smoke, right? I'm an old school traditionalist when it comes to tobacco across my palate. Now, I developed down there because Ethan ran away and went to the box factory.
Right.
And that means he took Raul too. And Christian was
Shout out Raul. Sorry.
Christian was not going to do what I did. I guarantee you he was not going to do what I had to do, which meant it was me and Tyler. And Tyler's head of production. He looked at me and goes, I ain't doing that, bro. So it left me. And I don't know if you guys ever took straight saccharin and put it on the cap of a cigar just to see what it's like, just to see.
Just to see.
That
Let
would
me
not
tell
be
you.
good.
Let me tell you. You want to see Niagara Falls come into your mouth and not stop?
So
I
many
was walking
euphemisms
around.
flying
I was walking around outside constantly. Yes, spitting liquid.
Yes.
It was nasty. I couldn't stop for a good hour. My mouth just kept creating this nastiness. But we had to dial it in. We had to figure it out. And then you say relationship. So today, I got a phone call back from a dude that knows sweet caps, right? Upsetter, Mr. Nick, down at Foundation Cigar, right? I couldn't figure it out when we were down there. I was getting close, but something was wrong still. had a little chemical taste, and I didn't want that. Then I called my brother-in-law when I was down there to figure out how to dilute corn syrup, whether I wanted to cook it or add hot water to kill the crystals. And then what do you got to add back in, right? To keep that sweet, hard, candied cap. So that's what I needed Nick for, and he gave me some insight. And now we figured out that. I made the phone call down to Honduras today, and we're moving forward. So everybody that, you're right, smokes a cigar, they don't think that how do you dial this in? How do you make it? You're never going to have something that's 100% perfect because it's subjective tasting we're doing in this industry. So I can tell you that's mint chocolate chip.
Right.
But you might argue, nah, that's really chocolate chip.
Right.
Yeah.
Do
And
we
I'm
all
like-
see the same color of red kind of deal?
Right.
Yeah.
So you can
don't.
only create something, and the romance comes really from the story. Like the day we were down there, and probably Tony did out of 3,000 sticks, probably 2,800 with the bands on it on the most cold day. The pectin that we created
Yeah.
with the water was becoming
Jell-O.
hard. Yeah.
It became Jell-O.
But
let's just be honest.
we made it, right? And the pictures we got from Ethan made a beautiful factory shot for us. Everybody was pitching in. So when you do get to tell that story, that romance, it's no BS. You were there. Tony was there. Rico, Diana. Diana kept you all going because it was cold. Even she was rolling.
Well, and to me, like the stories behind the cigars almost carry the cigars more than the cigars themselves. To me, because I'm a story guy. Like I like to hear the romance, and I like to hear the whole setup and what the history of this is. And I use those little anecdotes in the humidor when I'm selling a cigar because I feel like it gets you more intimate with the cigar in a short amount of time.
You always romance, right? Because every
Always romance.
manufacturer has done something to that particular cigar they're doing. There was a failure along the way that's funny. There always will be a failure in that scheme of producing.
Right.
And that's where you end up pushing through, and then you come out the other side and you're like, holy cow, I can't believe I got up at 5 o'clock to shit, shower, and shave in an ice cold shower and crept out of the room so Ethan could get some sleep without realizing the lady was downstairs making breakfast. So when I went downstairs for coffee, breakfast was made.
Hell yeah.
So I went upstairs to grab my stuff because Tyler was done. He was walking over to the factory. Ethan just crept out of bed. Mind you, we were told breakfast is at 7:30.
Right. Meanwhile, back at the shop, Stash.
Yeah. It wasn't bum rush hell, that was for sure.
No,
but
that's true. It's pretty nice, relaxed weekend for them to be taking off.
yeah, it worked out.
I disagree.
Once the one thing about what we're all talking about too, once again, I always reiterate this. Remember, we live in a tourist town. We are driven by tourism, period. This isn't like going to another place in Raptor, another place in New York or something like that. If you usually go into a cigar bar in other places, you know what you're going to go get. Normally, you know why you're going in there. Right. You have a purpose of going in there. Yep. Like we said, 75 to 80% of our customers walk by, they hear the band, they smell the cigar smoke coming out, and they're like, what the hell's down there?
Yeah, you're not
and
just
they wander
tripping
down.
upon it.
Yeah, they wander down. Oh, this is cool, and then that's where the whole introduction and the romance starts.
Yes.
Or the dance, as I like to call it.
Well,
because that's what it is.
Right, and I hope to think that we're getting a hook in some of the lips. We're getting them to be open more to cigars, and they're not just getting that one stick that they're smoking an inch, but that's going to get them, 2 weeks later down the road going, God, man, that was really relaxing.
On the way back though from the airport, I was reading some of the reviews on the Dragon right across the lines. We got a 5-star from somebody, which we the majority of them were 5 stars. Couple 4s here and there, 3, 1. But
I don't remember what the 1 was.
I don't even. It was probably wasn't what I
Shipping
wanted.
time, or
Yeah,
wasn't
something.
what I wanted or whatever. Yeah.
But the 5-star that I'm referring to, the guy ripped the cigar. He didn't like it.
Oh, that one.
Yeah, it didn't. It burnt fine, but nothing was there. No sweetness. I don't understand the flavor, but I'm giving you 5 stars.
Just as a
Yeah, I mean,
hey man, fuck
I
it.
felt bad after I read it, and then I looked. I'm like, but the dude, you know what? You gave me 5 stars. Why don't you just give me a 1 star? I'd have felt like everything was aligned.
I bought this Yugo. Man, great price. Then I gave it 5 stars, but it has no power, no air conditioning, no power steering. It's 3 cylinders. and I think a hamster somewhere in the back trunk running.
But then when
But
you go,
I'll give
read-
it 5 stars.
Yeah, you go read the other people's reviews, and they're like,
Jackass.
"Hey, I get the dried fruit." If you like the one guy, he gave a dissertation on the
A
dissertation.
dissertation.
He gave a whole dissertation on the 5-star on Midnight Oil on how if you really like fruit and dried teas, this is where the dried teas come in and the dried
Right.
fruits.
Right.
And I'm like, all right, he gets it.
Well, that was the guy that wrote the book.
Yeah, the book.
Yeah, literally. I was like, I got like paragraph in. I'm like, oh, he broke this. I mean, he literally like cut this thing apart, and I think he analyzed
not
it
an
in
actual
science.
book.
Yeah,
No, he wrote a book.
He wrote a book.
Got it.
Yeah.
But I think he literally tore that thing apart and sent it off to some secret alphabet squirrel place to have him disassemble it and come back with it. I mean, he was that detailed. It was ridiculous. I was like, what the hell is this?
Now,
Yeah.
we have had a discussion at the store about which one's moving faster.
Anti.
Is that what you guys think?
That's the way I was rolling the hell out of him when I was putting
hold-
the bands
hold
on him.
Now, my question is, are you
It's
saying
starting to turn.
Okay, wait a minute. Are you saying it's this go around? Because overall, believe it or not,
Oil.
yep.
Yeah.
No
It,
shit.
it's
Yeah.
it when you look at the sales for the first 3,000, the next 3,000, and the 12,000, Midnight Oil always burn out faster. Get it?
Eh,
Ba-dum-tsh.
But yeah, but Auntie seems more steady,
yeah.
and
True.
Zero's
Hit and miss. It can fly off the shelf one weekend, the next weekend it
It
just
hits the
sits
brakes.
there, and it's like
The
what
zeros
just
have been
happened?
fucking crazy taking over.
That's what
Yeah.
we're saying.
Yeah.
It's just it,
It
doesn't
goes
make
back
sense.
and forth.
It's just
And
weird.
that could be also that somebody that's ordering online is probably, well, I'll get the oils. Try them. I'll get the antis. Try
Right.
them. Get zero. It could be that rotation too.
Yep.
It could be a lot of different things, but I noticed the ladies that come in and they don't know anything about cigars, and we're explaining it to them. You do the whole flip the box open, explain everything about it. Ladies, majority of the time I've had, are you going to pick a zero or an anti?
Yes.
They're
Yeah.
going to stay away from the oil.
the diameter and the length.
Yeah.
I was
you know,
gonna say that's the size thing.
Yeah, it's a size thing.
Yeah,
But-
size queens.
But that's the other thing. We by the way, this was the exciting part for me, because without showing the picture, because we don't want to release this proprietary information on what it looks like, but the tin, right? We figured out the size of the cigarillo we're using, and it's not your traditional size of a cigarillo. We chopped it, made it fatter. So I did our steeping process on those and brought them back. I was going to bring them here, but then I realized, the tin's going to be seen.
Right.
So I smoked it, and I was actually, like, you open it up, and you still get that aroma. Mm-hmm. And then right away, that sweet flavor is there. And I didn't do the sweetness on the cap. I only did it in the
Yeah.
chopped up tobacco.
Right.
Nice.
But it was amazing. So those are going to be shorter. And the cool thing about that tin, it's a cool thing.
It is a really cool thing. So there is exciting shit. Now, like when you were in Honduras, you're doing induction or steeping. Ethan is at the box factory. Like,
No.
No, that was last time.
That was last
oh,
time.
well,
Jesus,
Ethan,
come
well,
on,
no,
get
we
on
can
the
bring this up
page.
because now
it's a recap.
See, hold on.
I was talking about the last time.
Right. See what happened this trip for Ethan was Ethan got more of a tutorial from Raul. So they did create something that we can show. And I'll tell you what, you guys have not seen it.
No.
I don't think he showed you the pictures. That's why he's unveiling it tonight, which I believe, I don't know what slide you got, but this is going to be available at the rally this year. The T-shirts you're going to see right away off this logo. It is sick.
I don't see anything.
Oh, it's coming. It's
I
coming.
got nothing.
It's
Yeah.
coming.
What's the guy in the booth doing? Jeez.
But it's
So-
There we go.
hold on.
This isn't even it. I'm just
No.
kind of setting this up. So
Okay.
we have done a commemorative Sturgis cigar for a long time. I mean, well over a decade.
Yep.
We re-released one last year, the 2021. We kind of went off the rails, and we did call it the custom bike, right? And so that's the one that we had last year. Exciting thing is that we banged out over the course of an entire day, and this is the
Sick, bro.
release right here. We got some really cool stuff.
Look
going
look
on.
at that logo, man. That's on
That's
the back of a shirt.
Nice.
That's kind of sick, yeah.
It's got everything
that
in
is
there,
cool.
man.
It's still going to be a 10-count box, but that's the deal. Here's the sexiness of
Look at that.
Oh, fuck
Oh,
yeah.
there we go. Yeah.
See that?
Yeah, I dig
Yeah,
that.
That's
a lot
what they
better.
do at the box factory, man. They polish the boxes after they're all done, and they get them all nice and clean. They actually go back with
like
this
a-
white stuff and polish it.
Motorcycle paint job.
this next one.
Oh, it's
here-
off the hook.
Here comes the cigar.
Boom.
Looking pretty sexy.
Oh, that is sexy.
Pretty
That is
sexy.
nice.
I feel like we're doing cigar porn right now, and then that's it, man.
Fuck yeah.
So we're gonna have the shirts made short sleeve, long sleeve. The only thing we haven't determined is if we want black shirts, or do you guys want to go with the totally different colored shirt for the rally? Because we have black always in
Wait,
stock
for
on
us
the,
or for everybody else?
for everybody else, man.
Yeah. Because that would look really cool on a shop shirt as well.
Yeah.
Of course.
You know what I mean?
Well,
Like, I would
we
wear a
can
shop
get
shirt
we
like
can
that.
get the shop shirts made for the staff, but T-shirt. Do you want a black shirt, white shirt, yellow shirt?
I mean, you're always going to want the classic black, but is there like a gray option as well?
Well, see, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Not like a dark gray, but not like a light gray.
No, like a medium gray. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And now
So
enthusiasts
mauve.
are going to look at this.
What?
If you know Harley Davidson's, I originally mocked up and drew a line drawing like last year of the old school like 74 shovel head.
Right.
So this is actually a shovel head engine. We just didn't want to, get a letter from Harley Davidson lawyers. So we didn't actually call it the shovel head, but this is the Rally cigar. It's a shovel head engine.
Very cool.
Nice.
Old school.
That
But there's
fucking
when you look at there's a lot
skeleton is
there's
sick too,
there's
man.
well that's an influence of Tom Lazuka.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Right.
You got Raul's influence in there, Ethan's influence in there. Everything is in there.
Yeah.
So we banged it all out. They gave me a presentation. Now, like always, what you guys don't get to see is if I come around the computer when they're working, they get mad at me because I'm like, hey, check the fonts. I don't like them all. Do this. I don't like that. And they're like, look, man, we'll give you a presentation later. I was like, well, I'm trying to save you a step. Is that the truth?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
That's
it's
true.
the truth.
I
but
seen it.
It's not.
Then I leave and I go wander the building back to my little cubbyhole of production facility. And
No,
it's a hole.
At this
pretty
whole
exciting.
time, I'll show you a picture. I think we told the story last year of being out in the courtyard in this little room where Bill is got his whole witch's brew, and it's like an episode of Breaking Bad where they're out there doing their deal. So this little room there in the white is actually the birthplace of DTZ's Chasing the Dragon, and so we had to capture this image, a year later. That's where it was
Dude,
all
that
done.
doesn't
right
even
there,
look
my
like
friend.
you've got a colored shirt on,
Yeah.
no fucking hat. You're wearing khakis versus jeans.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got my shoes on.
It's like an alternate version of you.
That was a
Dude.
stunt double they brought
I had
in.
to get out of the room, right? Because we were in there, and then what I'm facing is a carport that is now enclosed. So I went from a little room like that into a carport, and now the third floor factory in less than a year.
All right.
So yeah, when you guys actually think about what we've been able to do as a team so far, right?
Yeah.
You're looking at 6 and 12, 18,000 plus 21,000 sticks, and what we had 4 months where we didn't have the product. Mm-hmm. I mean, that's not bad for one store
No,
in
not
one
at all.
year. Now, will it plateau in a year and a half, 2 years? Who knows?
Right.
We have other things coming with this brand. We worked on a fourth SKU, whole new packaging. It's going to be similar, fall right in line. We have cutters coming for it. We actually just got the Auntie Dragon Midnight Oil cutters finally in. We got new shopping bags.
Mm-hmm. Things are looking swanky.
We're
at
going to
the
have
shop.
hats coming back in. And
Very
then
nice.
the dragon hat.
The dragon hat.
Yeah.
Is it going to fit huge fucking heads?
Don't worry, your ego will fit in it. That's what you meant by head, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
It swells so much. Like Japanese encephalitis.
Next year, Chasing the Dragon condoms.
But that's the top left, though, if you're watching when this goes, that's the stairway to heaven. And then as you get up halfway, that's the open kitchen.
Oh, okay, now I get it. Yeah.
Which one night, this was neat. They had about, I don't know, 20, 30 cats working at night in that box factory hustling. And it was muggy and hot. And look, we had Pizza Hut. And you know how hard it is to order a cheese pizza in Honduras from Pizza Hut?
Yeah.
Not only do they not believe you want cheese pizza, but you have to stay on your phone. They're going to send you a link to pay with your credit card. And once they get the okay back, then they'll make your pizza.
I mean,
Well,
So-
it gets shot over to Nigeria real
Right.
quick.
So,
Some people.
so
look
what
at it over
happened
there.
Payment
was
center in
we ordered
India.
this pizza and we brought in a bunch of pizza for his crew, and you should have seen them. These cats didn't know what to do. We laid out the pizza, and finally they spoke in a language I don't understand because I don't speak it. And next thing you know, they got up and they were. This place doesn't cut the pie either, so they had to tear it and rip it.
Jesus.
They had like 1.5 slices folded and bent back.
yeah.
But they were big smiles, right?
Oh, for
huge
sure.
smiles. You know what a piece of pizza costs there? Enough.
All right.
Just caught on a cliffhanger there.
Right? You like that
Yeah,
drama?
no, that was great. Yeah.
But it is. You know, you see these signs, $1.99, right? And you're like, I know that's not $1.99 for a pie.
yeah.
No, it's $199 whatever things.
Right.
But it is an amazing place. You know, the people are really happy. Ethan, this picture he throws up, right? Ethan was like, the night before he goes over to Christian, hey, do you think we can see the farms tomorrow? There's nothing to look at. Would you be okay with the barns? Yeah. So that's what that picture is. We're just walking and talking. It was a good conversation. I learned a lot of things on that little walk about him personally that don't need to be shed because he gave that to me in confidence. So if you are going to try to get it out of me, don't worry, it's not going to happen.
The reason why there wasn't tobacco in the fields is because you go in the barns and you look up at the ceiling, and that's what you see. These are all your future, like 2024 smokes hanging from the ceiling, man.
Drying out. What are the cows for?
We're just walking down the road.
Yeah,
dude.
it's like secret
No,
ingredient. I'm
just
like, what the hell?
like you see weird things.
Yeah.
Cows?
Like, yeah. Like in weird places where they're not supposed to
okay.
be.
All right.
Like you
That-
see
that
horses
made
all of a
sense.
sudden walking and eating the grass underneath the tobacco plant, right? And you're like, what the hell's the horse? Oh, it's okay. He won't touch the plant. Just different stuff.
This is just down the road. You can see Aladino's
Yeah.
factory. So that's his dad's factory.
Yep.
And right above that's the house where we stayed last year. But we're out there trying to get some pictures of the flowering tobacco plants. And this dude comes out and he's a goat rancher, man. He's
Running the goats through.
yeah. And the goats actually, you know, they said hola, amigo.
Yeah, they look.
What they said?
One's got a cigar hanging out of his mouth. Yo.
Yeah.
I don't know
Thanks
what
for the
like
steak, man.
their
Yeah.
livestock over there. It's like Nicaragua, right? I don't know what they're using the livestock for because you can count the ribs.
Oh, for sure.
I mean, there's not a lot of
I got some
vegetation.
pictures
and
of
stuff.
horses, and it's all ribs, man.
Yeah. What was as they had that little like turkey looking thing, but it wasn't a turkey. It was like an armadillo turkey. And yeah, it was.
what?
Remember that little bird over by the factory, Aladino's factory?
Yeah, they're like
They're weird looking.
they're quail. They're Honduran quail, and they have them there because they eat all the mosquitoes.
Yeah, that's what I was going to get at.
okay.
But they got like this long feathery thing, and they got a hard body shell, and it just looks. And they got the little gobbly thing, and it looks weird. You're just like, what? And they just walk. They don't even.
That was another one of those, you know, when they were doing the killer bee thing back in South America, and they were like, oops, one got out. My bad. That's exactly what that
It'll be
probably
fine.
is. Yeah.
Somebody get that
one
armadillo
eats-
away from that chicken.
Yeah. That one eats mosquitoes and or humans, depending on what
depending
how
on-
hungry it
Now,
is.
here's something Christian asked when we were driving. He asked, "Hey, do you think we could get people to come to Honduras and do a motorcycle trip with cigars, where he would make sure that the army was there to block off all the roads and everything, and we could just go from like the airport out to the factory and around this other place." He's really thinking about offering a motorcycle trip
That would be fucking
That'd be-
rad, man.
in Honduras.
Yeah.
Be pretty
Now
good.
I'm gonna tell you this right now: you don't want a Harley.
No. You want an adventure bike, man.
And I was like, dude, I don't know if I want to do that. He's like, no. I'll make sure the army protects us and has the roads blocked because look, they might have paint lanes on the road, but
That don't
nobody
mean-
pays
that doesn't
attention to
mean
them
shit.
at all.
No, that's just a guideline.
Yeah, you got to learn. Like, you just go.
Yep.
because they don't want to hit you either. So they're going to stop and let you in. It's crazy.
It's just the biggest vehicle wins, basically, in all the like.
No, the most ballsiest driver.
Well, that's fucking true
has
too.
nothing to do
It's
with
But
the
the guys in
vehicle.
the big trucks are pretty fucking ballsy.
No,
Man.
dude, they stop for the dude that has like a motorcycle. You know those little Oriental vehicle bug thingies?
Moped.
Yeah, it's
Or
like a
the
moped
tri-
with a
trike.
shell.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
they have those there. They don't care. They're coming right out into traffic going, you're moving for me.
That's true.
The way that Roy drives too is it's terrifying, and so they always put me, the small guy, in the back seat in the middle, and so I'm white knuckling the two
Chair
seats
backs. Yeah.
on both sides just to hold on, and on the way back, they have this little cubby space with
took
luggage
it.
all the way around it.
He
I'm like,
took
oh,
it.
I'll take the back seat, no problem. Just because I don't have to hold on back there, you're like
Right.
buttressed
Like
in
Just
by all the-
squeezed in.
I was behind the driver and I had to put my arm out and hold it stiff the whole way because if not, you're just going to bounce around.
Yeah.
It's the Honduran drift. You know what I'm saying?
Honduras.
Seriously, we talked about that in the car.
Coming out in 2023.
Right after they get done with the Fast and Furious
I mean,
movies, it's the Honduran
look,
drift.
in this vehicle, you had Christian, Tyler, Raul, me, Ethan, and the pilot with the luggage. And it was not a very big SUV.
I was gonna say,
were
this
the boys
wasn't a-
just laughing at you the whole time?
Oh, it was fun.
Raul and Tyler were just.
They were in the car with us. They didn't have a choice.
No, I know.
Now,
were they laughing
see,
at the way you
now,
were reacting?
Now
Fucking
Tyler,
clown car is what it
Tyler,
sounds
like. Yeah, right.
Tyler got in trouble. Tyler got in trouble. Yeah, I forgot about that. He took the front seat,
Ooh.
and the whole way from the airport to the factory, Christian kept going, I can't believe you wouldn't let the customer, one of our greatest customers, not have the front seat. I couldn't believe it, blah, blah, blah. And I actually told, hey, go ahead, get the front. I'll get in the back.
There's a reason for that, because traveling overseas like Italy, you get into a taxi cab. It's a death ride. You might make it. We don't
Yeah.
know. I've had one taxi hit like 4 mopeds, like bumped them and knocked them over, just going from one place to another. And he didn't even see. He's like, oh well.
Oh, you know what he said, though? If you hit somebody on like a motorcycle in Honduras, you just keep going and you go to the next police station because the crowd will
Right.
beat you down.
Right.
gotcha.
They're gonna chase your ass down.
Oh, they're going to beat you down because you just killed a dude.
Yeah.
But they basically, by having him in the front seat, means when they get into a head-on collision with somebody, he's at least in the back.
They're
seat.
not
He
ruining
has-
the collateral.
He's got a shot to make it out alive.
Ding, ding,
yeah.
ding, ding.
I felt like one of
I
those
know
rides
exactly
in Vegas
what
was
this
like
was.
that. That fucking car that cut us off that he almost back-ended.
Oh, but it was a good trip this time. It was fun. But we were going to leave on a Friday back to LA, back to Miami, right? And we just had breakfast, everything. No, we just had lunch. And he called in the lunch and all this, and then he's like, all right, I'm going to go take a nap. We go back to doing what we were doing, and all of a sudden, hey, man, we're leaving ASAP. What? Go pack. We're leaving. Like, literally, everything had to get thrown in your suitcase, so your dirty clothes got mixed with your clean clothes. And we were flying back to Miami. It was a late night flight.
It's like when you go down there, is it like a day that you spend in Miami and then you take off to Honduras, or what's kind
Well,
of the
that's
the
what
gist
I'm.
of that?
That's I'm not flying straight there and then doing all that. So I fly down at least a day before to have the breather because you don't know if you're going to get the swab.
Right.
If you got to get the swab, well, we got the swab on the way there, but on the way back it's a little different.
So that was by design.
Yeah,
going
I'm
down
going
there
to
a
take
day
that
early.
extra day.
Yeah.
Just in case something happens.
Wait a minute, that swab's supposed to go in my nose. What are you doing? I don't need to take my pants down for a
Hold
swab.
on, hold
What's
on.
going
So
on here?
when I had to get the swab this time, right? I got out of the car and I started walking. He's like, "Yeah, you go up there," and he's like, "But you got to put your mask on." I stopped and looked at him and go, "But I'm outside." He's like, "I know, but you got to have your mask on." I go, "Outside?" He's like, "Yeah." This whole thing was done outside, and you had to get a mask. Now the doctor had this faceplate, double-sided mask, and this long lead shield, and these creepy gloves. Right. And then she's like, "You step in," and I had to step into a like little pod, right?
Sucks air out or
Yeah,
whatever.
I don't know what it did because it just didn't work because the front's all open. So if that person next to me coughed, that's just going to go right to me anyway.
Yeah, it's
Plus, I'm outside.
bunch of crap.
So by the time it got to me and it dissipated through the air, I'd have been fine
I
anyway.
mean, I feel like you're overthinking this.
No, that's what they did. Because then they made you walk back to the other parking lot and get in the car
Oh God.
that Ethan was waiting in.
But then you can take your mask off.
But this is where Raul and Tyler sent us all around the place to find this. No, it's right there next to Cabela's. No, it's not. Then go over here. It's not there either. Oh, we're at this one. Why didn't you just tell us to go to that one? It was fun because we were with our boy Fabian, right?
Right.
Mr. Fabian Ziegler.
Very nice.
So we hung out with him on that day before. We went out. It was a Sunday.
Yeah.
Yeah, we went out to Little Cuba and looked for some food and see if they had any music. And believe it or not,
Found some.
we found some mojitos. Coconut.
Coconut.
Yeah, it was good. No, it wasn't like hairy coconut. It was
Okay.
the one, the first stop, it was more coconut. The second one had like a creamy coconut,
Right.
but the food was off the hook.
Oh, there you go. It's
And
what
that
matters.
was 5 days of your 7-day trip?
That was the first day down in Miami.
Okay, all right. Just
And
making
then,
sure.
and then we went.
Catching you on a lie.
Nah, you can't. Now the great food that Ethan got exposed to was a very interesting character that made Philly cheesesteaks. And this dude bet, oh my God, he bet $100,000. He bet $100,000 while we were sitting there.
On what?
The Sixers playing that night,
Good Lord.
but the cheesesteak, it was great.
Cheesecake? Tremendous.
it
The
was.
bet, horrible.
Yeah, these guys were like, he said, just one?
Yeah.
And so these guys ordered 2 cheesesteaks. And Fabian's a big guy. Fabian's like, I've done 3 before, but I wasn't comfortable afterwards. I'm like, you had 3?
I can only do 1.5, dude. 1.5, and I'm out.
Jesus.
Yeah.
The first one tastes so good, right?
Right.
It's gone. And you're like, man, I could eat another one. So you start eating, and you're like, oh, nope, I'm good. I slid it over to Fabian.
I could
Then,
have killed that shit.
then the dude brings out, because he makes pizza, right? That old boardwalk Philly style. He brings out a slice of cheese, and I was like, I'm not eating that. I'm full.
Yeah.
I even left my, how do you say that drink? Jarritos? Yeah, it's like Latin sodas.
Oh, okay.
They got fruit punch and mandarin and other ones. Yeah, it's pretty good stuff.
I didn't get any of that when we were sitting at the shop up here.
And then
No.
the boss lady texted and asked if Ethan tried a hookah, and if he doesn't try a hookah, he's not allowed to work again. So he tried a hookah,
Meanwhile, back in Deadwood.
right?
Shing,
Yeah.
next. Shing,
But
next.
I also, you know what? I was sexually profiled, and I had racism against me because I'm a white, sloppy, straight male. And we went shopping, right? Because we had that day. We came back early, so we had to do something.
To become a
Right, so-
a
No,
non-white
you're gonna laugh.
dressed
This
man?
this
What are we
really
trying to do here?
no. You're gonna. I didn't tell you this, but this really upset me. So, we go to this nice place. We eat. They drop us off, right? Now Raul's gonna come back later, pick us up because he's got work to do.
Right.
So we're out there. We're walking this mall, and we're passing Banana Republic, and Ethan's like, "Yo, you want to go in?" I'm like,
They
"Yeah."
still have those.
Yeah. So I'm like, yeah, because I usually get their T-shirts. I want to see if they got some
Right.
some black and some white ones, because I need new white ones, and I like the way they fit. So I'm looking, and I get about halfway to 3/4 of the way in the store, and I can't find them. So I'm like, I'm just gonna turn back. So I look at Ethan. He's got this dude near him. So I'm like, oh, I'm gonna go up there. He works. I'm gonna ask him where they're at. I take like 5 steps towards him, and this dude comes out of the chick side. Right, he's working because he got
Right.
that opening. And I see him right there. He's probably like 3 steps from me. So I'm like, hey, can I ask you a question? All right. And he looks at me and he rolls his eyes. Right? And I'm like, nah, forget it. He's like, no, you can ask. Nah, I see that your day's too important for me to ask a question so I can spend money. I'm just going to go. Now, mind you,
Bill
we-
didn't look like the typical Banana Republic.
Oh,
No,
no,
I'm
not at all.
pretty sure
not,
he wasn't rolling
Not
in.
at all, right? Not at all. So I'm like, I'm out. I'm not going to spend my money here. I work too hard to spend my money. So I bounce. I look at Ethan and go, hey, I'm going to be outside. I ain't shopping here. Now, Ethan's more privileged to the next part of this conversation, but I'm just going to lead in with it. So the dude goes to Ethan, hey, I don't know what happened. I heard something, but just tell your buddy sorry for his bad experience, right? And he was acting like the manager.
Yeah.
So I'm waiting. Ethan gets done. He comes out and goes, hey, here's what the brother said. I'm like, he's the manager? I'm going to go back in and tell him, right? So I walk back in. He sees me, and I walk up to him. I give him the heads up, like, I'll tell you what happened. I'm going to be straight with you. And I looked at him. I got that look, man. I was like, look, I know you judging me like I'm a sloppy white man and I can't afford things. But the problem you got is I got your elite status card with free alterations. And that man rolled his eyes at me. But what Ethan told him, though,
Right.
because the guy told him, hey, you have to understand, retail's very difficult, this and that, whatnot. Ethan looked at him and goes, he owns retail stores? Yeah, I was not having it, bro. Just the fact the customer service, and the dude was the manager, because the brother's like, you want to talk to the manager? I'm like, who is he? Well, the dude that rolled his eyes, no. Then he goes, the general manager's here. No. Ooh. Now, the reason why I said I was sexually discriminated against because the both dudes that talked to me were straight up gay. And I'm not saying that because the radar was going off. I'm saying that because they looked at me like I was a lollipop. And I could not afford a frickin' T-shirt. And that is true, Banana Republic down there in Miami at that mall that we were walking at. I ain't dropping dimes on you.
Oh, so now you know how I feel.
I'm going back to the Gap.
Now you know how I feel.
I'm going back to single stitching.
The Gap. Now you know how I feel in the cigar bar when I get wonked on all the time.
It's because of your mustache.
Yeah, I was you shouldn't wear that leather fucking pants. And then
I tried to stop wearing them. I quit for the most part. I went to kilts. What do you want?
I wasn't so upset that that's their sexual orientation or whatever, and they lick their lips. But what I am saying is,
what I mean by he's not Banana Republic's traditional customer. He walked in his leather assless chaps.
Come on. I actually had nice jeans on. I actually had nice jeans on, and I was not in what I normally wear to the store, so I had a different, vibrant shirt on. I didn't look like I was working. But, man, when that dude rolled his eyes at me, I was just like, you know what, forget it. Your T-shirt's not important. I'm going back to Hanes.
Lovely.
For fuck's sake.
You asked for an update.
Yeah, I sure did.
That went a little deep.
Oh, not as deep as that guy wanted to go.
No.
Oh, he wasn't getting deep. No way. He would have been dead at his feet. Bloop, bloop, bloop. But you know what did happen that day? It did turn out pretty well because I found an espresso shop, and I bought the Kona Espressos because they were out for a while. So, I bought 12 sleeves, and there's 10 per sleeves. That's 120 coffees I'm drinking.
Well, at least it worked out good in the end.
That's all I can say.
Who's in?
I'm just leaving that one up in the air.
I'm telling you.
You can play fucking tennis with that one.
No,
Bat it back and forth.
I'm in the stands watching
soundboard
it.
when we need it, man.
Yeah, right.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah, that like, dude.
Oh, yeah.
Now, but there were some other lovely things to look at. I will tell you that. We were walking past this very mature woman, right? I don't know her age, but she's older than me. She had this beautiful non-makeup look. And when she walked by, she smiled because you're looking at her. And like Ethan
She
said,
knows she's looking like that.
not only she knew she looked like that, but she knew she was still pretty, and she knew that she caught two mature men looking at her. And we weren't being dirty. We were just like, she looked classy.
Right.
Just a stunning lady.
Yeah, she was just coming in to get something real quick, didn't put on her day. But, yeah. And then you saw the other ones, and you're like, yo, that's too much Play-Doh.
Yeah.
That is way too much electric blue. I don't know why it's on your cheek.
Yeah. Yeah, well, you know.
Like, fucking where do you go from here?
Yeah.
I mean, this is a fucking recap.
Well, welcome. It's been great. We're out. What the hell are we going to talk about now?
Look, I have a witness that I was discriminated against. I was sexually harassed.
I don't know
as
it's
as
really in
against-
question.
It was because I felt violated. I wanted a fucking T-shirt.
He got the banana in Banana Republic.
I just wanted the T-shirt, not the fucking T-shirt.
Yeah. All right.
Okay.
Moral of the story is you have to have skinny legs to shop there.
Yeah.
You can't be a quad dominant male.
I'd be fucking set. I got chicken legs. I can show you with the fucking kilt cam.
You better watch it. They might climb up you.
It's all right.
You have that nice skirt on.
I do.
Sponsored by Utility Kilt. You can get your own utility kilt at utilitykilt.com.
Why is your kilt talking? Shorty, get out of there.
Which would be funny because he could just match you, right, and walk around the same kilt.
you really could.
And nobody would know.
No, it just looked like I was wearing a gown.
And if you needed a shower, he could take one. He's not opposed.
that
But
got the
when he
inside
pulls that
pocket?
hose,
Yeah.
Does that have the inside pocket for the soap and shampoo?
that's where his hands
Yeah.
come
Oh,
out.
that's what I feel like, yeah.
His hands come right out of the pockets.
Hi, how are you doing today?
Just creepy visuals.
No.
We really went off the fucking rails on this one.
But we ended up
They
coming
never made
back
it
to
out of the
Miami.
station.
No.
The fucking train
And-
blew up while it
Yeah.
was fueling in the station.
It did.
We
Talking
did come
about-
back, and we had some food at Fabian's again that night, and more hookah and more cigars. And we stopped in with this guy, Jared Nasi. I fucked up his last name. He's Italian. He's a boxer. He's from Florida. Used to work at Drew State. Now he's the president and something else at Mombacho.
Mombacho, is that a new brand?
Nah, it's been out for a while.
Oh, okay.
They do from
So it's a new to me
manufacturer.
brand.
Yeah, it's because they do straight to direct consumer. They don't go through a store.
Right.
But he was up in Canada selling to somebody. I don't know who. So he's passing back through and going to go back to the old Granada of Nicaragua. So he's got a good life down there. So we bumped into him too. So that was kind of fun.
Good.
It's just amazing all the relationships that get curated over the years and how you just kind of float into them and just, oh, hey, shit, how have you been? I haven't seen you in fucking 3 years, but it's just like yesterday.
Yep.
It's just like a lot of. It's funny when you think about how many cigars are out there and how small the industry is.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, it's kind of like when the summertime comes back to DTC and then we start seeing the regulars that we haven't seen for a while that come from God knows where, for God knows what reason. But they come in, But they come in and you can be like, oh, fuck, motherfucker and princess are here and fucking this person and this person and this person.
Boobs McGee.
Boobs McGee.
She's back. Shit, so is her husband.
Nah.
Or is that the boyfriend this time?
I don't remember which one it was.
Right.
Yeah, whatever.
We did. Ethan.
Are we
Ethan
outing
heard
somebody right now?
Ethan heard an old story from when Fabi and I were running that humidor. I had a customer out of St. Louis that came up, right, and him and his wife, small talking him. She gets upstairs, goes to the bathroom, and he's like, "Hey, give me a box of Liga, and she'll get naked in the store." Right now, this lady was good looking, so I don't have that ability to offer that.
Right.
So I ran to Fabian, and I was like, "Look, check this out." Right?
Yeah.
And he's like, "Okay, whatever. Let's see." The girl comes down. I'm back at the table. She looks at me and the husband goes, "What?" And I'm like, "I ain't saying shit.
Nothing.
This is on him. It was his idea. Let him talk." And he goes, "Look, I told Wild Bill this," and she takes a long drag of her American Spirit and goes, "No." Right? And I'm like, "Cool, I'm out. I don't have to do nothing." But she goes, "No, what I'll do is I'll get naked from the waist up and I will walk to the back of the store. No pictures." So I tell Fabian that. He's like, "All right," I go in the humidor. I miss it all. I set it up and I missed it all. I come out of the humidor and Mrs. Crabtree's there with her camera by the back door taking a picture. I'm like, "No cameras." And she's like, "I'm allowed." And I happened to turn and there she was posing, and it was beautiful. But he came back the following year without her.
Oh.
More of the story is, don't have your wife flash at DTC.
No,
It happens though.
it does.
I mean,
a bit.
I don't know. I don't know if there's a lot of other cigar shops of the upper class. So to
Look,
speak.
when you're looking for the cigar sex on the beach and somebody shows you the river of love, what are you supposed to do?
Hand him a strawberry and walk out.
Yep. Because I didn't find sex on the beach in that cigar. Yeah. It was there. I found it later because somebody showed it to me. I got distracted. I was like, they're getting chocolate.
My normal
What's this
one
one?
when they
Grape
come in and
fucking
they
bubble
go,
gum.
they go, they're looking for that stuff, and I'm like, "Oh yeah, we got strawberry, vanilla, whatever, blah blah blah." Sex on the beach, mojito. Sex on the beach is not that fun. I'm just saying, sand gets in places you don't want it to get into.
It's
The one
pretty
time,
scratchy.
wait though, when you do get the sharp ones, the girl will go wet or dry, and you're like, that's up to you and your man.
Yeah, exactly.
She goes dry.
Yeah.
Sandpaper Sally. Good Lord.
Hey, what else do we got from this trip? Any other slides or
And let's get back to
Exciting
reality here,
things.
'cause
We can give a building update.
Hey,
building update? Building update. So,
The building.
so we're gonna bring up some pictures just so everybody knows on the podcast. Times are tough, but not for what we want to do. We just have to find a builder. We got the financing. We secured the lease. Everything's good to go. So Ethan just put up what the layout is. The design's
that's a good
already
looking
done.
building.
So towards the bottom of the screen, if you're watching, that's the front door. We're going to redo all that. Off to the right will be the social media room. Right on.
Whoa, stop. Did you
I'm
just pull
going
an
fast.
1800 picture up?
You like that?
Fucking
You like that?
Put the directions from the new to the old place?
Yeah,
I mean,
man.
You are in the
essentially-
Badlands. Walk up the hill.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not that far, but we're going to have off to the right is a 400 square foot humidor that goes 20 feet up.
Yep.
Then we're going to have some low seating outside of that with a glass sliding barn doors. And then high seating, and then a stage and a little social media picture taker area. We'll have bathrooms, male, female, and ADA accessible.
Ooh, are you gonna have like a cutout where they can get up there and the lady can get in there for the picture? and
Bro,
she's
we're
got
just doing a
Pierce's
neon.
beard?
We're just doing a
okay.
neon.
Oh,
Plus, it would be stashes for the guys.
yeah.
Because
We have-
everybody
I was
wants
looking
to
for the
be
girls.
like stash.
We have showed the picture of the new building.
People didn't pay attention.
We have showed the layout before, but what we haven't shown is actually the interior of
This is what it
new
looks
building.
like currently.
Yes.
So it's a real ballroom,
It
right?
looks like the ballroom that the Ghostbusters went into to get Slimer.
Yes.
Well, the building was out about the 1800s, so
Right?
yeah, it could be.
It could have been.
Close.
But we're going to keep the ceiling, right? You got some nice, it's just going to get painted, so we're keeping that texture. We're going to wrap the post. This picture right here, you're going to have a 40-foot bar on the left-hand side. It'll go back to the bathrooms back there. Retail is going to be right where we're standing in the picture. That's that half. And mind you, this whole place is going to be wrapped with barnwood and corrugated metal and Edison light bulbs. This is some pictures of what the design board will look like. So you can see off to the left, you got your rolling barn doors, the concept of the bar with the barn woods and all of that. And then the humidor in the middle, we're going to have proper shelving and storage. Whether or not we go all Spanish seater depends on the current cost.
I really like those floating shelves.
There'll be a big table in there that won't be used for eating.
Well, I would hope not. It's in the
In the
humidor.
humidor?
Decoration. But everything is there. We just have to find a builder. So if anybody listening and knows a builder that wants to do a build out for a couple $100,000, we got everything is done. The plumbing, drawings, electricity, everything is done. You just have to come in, bid it, take it, and be part of the DTC crew.
Now, that table that's going to be in the middle of the humidor, is that going to house like specialties when we're running specials per month? So people know, like,
No,
you know,
that's where you sit down and talk to the customer about.
That's where you play
cigars.
chess.
sit on the table.
You're going to learn
Not on it.
You're going to learn 4D chess.
You can, I guess.
4D. No,
Yeah, it's fun.
I've played 4D chess.
No, that table is
I
going to be
failed
more.
at 4D
We
chessboard.
could do whatever we want on that table, realistically.
Whoa,
Well,
whoa,
I mean,
man,
let's
man.
reel it back in here for a second.
We're not going to Banana Republic for you again.
Boys, Pierce
But
is
you know,
here.
you figure you'll decorate. Stash and Rico will love decorating that on all the holidays.
Oh yeah, joy.
Well, the reason that I was bringing it up, because if we do showcase the specialties that we have on there, we could, right now, this month, we have a special on
Crown heads, brother.
Crown Heads. That's what I was trying
That's
to
what
get
we
at.
smoking.
So we're all smoking Crown Heads right now. Remember, if you call into Diana and just say hi and then hang up, then go to our website, order a box of any Crown Heads, you're going to receive this 5-pack for free that I won last week. I don't want to rub it in, but I do. So you're going to get this 5-pack that's available for for after you buy a box. Really good sticks that are all involved in there. We got a Picardo. Jesus, I fucked up the first
A Ricky
one.
Ricardo. What do we got in there?
We'll see. I won the cigar. And then we've got a Four Kicks. We've got Jericho Hill, Juarez, and this lovely stick that I'm smoking right now, La Imperiosa.
I got the Juarez going down, man.
I got the
I'm
Four
actually
Kicks over here.
pretty impressed with this one. I'm enjoying the hell out
The
of it.
one I was hoping, but we didn't pull out of that pack. I like the Headley Grange. I do.
Well, and I'm a big Serie E fan. I really, really like the Serie E.
But you know what's amazing about their whole line? What do you notice about it? One major theme.
That they
Music.
All have. Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah, it's all music.
It's kind of funny
Tennessee
because when
Waltz,
Oh yeah.
when Mr. John Huber does this, right? Like you brought up the Van Halen thing. That's the music he's listened to that gives him the inspiration when he's creating the blend. So he listens to a lot of music. So he plays whatever, right? So when he's playing a song, you can see some influence of old country artists in there. So that's what inspires him when the blend comes out, and that's where he creates that harmonious effect on his lines.
That's very nice. I like that a lot.
It's unique,
It is.
and they're based out of Nashville, so it makes sense.
It does make sense.
Just like Deadwood Tobacco Company chasing the dragon. DTC,
Yeah.
CTD. That dude was cool that caught that, by the way.
That is a pretty good shout out.
Yeah.
I actually had a couple of, or one guy come in particular. He grabbed 3 of each of the dragons, and he is going to bring them to his fellow cohorts to review on YouTube or on their podcast or whatever. Kind of interested to see what that is, but I really love that they're getting the exposure enough to be able to be reviewed on a podcast in the future.
Look,
Right.
reviews to me are funny, whether it's in a leading magazine or any one of these type of shows, because I question an editor of a magazine.
Right.
Right?
Right.
And I have a creative writing degree. So when I listen to these people, I'm curious, where did they get this information? What are they bringing historically of knowledge to, and what is their guidelines that they're judging?
Right.
Because you can have a messed up burn for whatever reason.
For sure.
So they're going to like, look, it burns funny. Well, I'm going to ask you, when did you store it? How did you store it? If you told me you got it in a plastic bag with no humidification, I'm going to be like, wrong store.
Yeah.
Because I know that we
How'd
put,
you light it?
Yeah.
right.
Is it completely lit, or did you miss a little itty bitty corner at
or
the
did you,
top,
or did you
at the
get,
side?
for a second get too
Circle.
close with your torch
Yeah.
and caramelize, right?
Yeah.
So there's many different things that I go into. Even when you have a leading national brand of cigars that these people are doing, and you listen to them, and I read what they say, and I'm like, that's real interesting how you get Asian cinnamon,
Yeah. Yeah.
right? I get cinnamon. I totally get it. Everybody's had cinnamon toast at one point in time, so they get what a powdered cinnamon can do. But when you're trying to say it's sweet cinnamon and Asian spice, I'm like, you're confusing the hell out of me.
Yeah.
Because Asian cinnamon is going to be totally different as a spice
Yes.
compared to any other spices you're trying to say. And where are you getting the influence of, if you're doing Dominican with the Connecticut, where are you getting the influence of Asian spice? And things like that, right? Because there's only so many characteristics that a piece of tobacco can give you,
Yes.
right? So we know that Ecuadorian has a sweeter cream than Connecticut,
Right.
but they're both pretty much sweet creams.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, so there's not going to be a huge variance. Now, to pick it up becomes what's the filler binder, and that's what gives it the body a little bit more, right?
Yep.
So if you got Nicaraguan, Ecuadorian wrap versus Dominican, you can tell the mouthfeel is going to be a little heavier. And that's when you can, with your educated guest, make that leap towards your Ashton cabinet because it was soft and yummy and creamy and
So
full
delicious.
of nuts.
Full of nuts.
Yeah. So that's the critique in me, right?
Right.
I want to know the background. What are you judging these things on?
Well, and see, when I watch these things, I always watch with an air of skepticism, anyways, because I'm just sitting there going, okay, it doesn't seem like me and this guy agree on anything. So it's not just the review and what they're saying about it. It's that they're taking it to a whole new plethora of people that have never heard of
I
this
get-
cigar line before. And they're like, I'm going to try it for myself because who fucking knows if this guy knows what he's talking about or not.
Yeah, but those same people are the ones that can make or break a new line or a national brand line because they might know something. Let's just say Sam pissed the guy off, right? And the guy's now going to review Ashton Classic and say,
Our Sam?
yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
And the guy gets mad or
No,
whatever.
Michael from Shiner.
Yeah.
He's going to piss off him.
So why not?
Anyway.
And then he goes home. He's going to review it. He already has a bad feeling.
Right.
So is the pepper going to be too sharp now?
Yeah.
Right? Is the cream not going to come out?
This goes right back to the Groovy Blue and husband, wife, happy life. Everything's good. And he goes down and smokes it. It's the best cigar ever in the world. And it's a little, $3 cheap stick.
Yep.
And then next time he comes home the next day, the kids are screaming. The wife's crazy. And he goes downstairs and he says, this tastes like shit. Well,
Stash, you make me happy.
I remember.
I know. That just-
Retention.
this is-
Oh.
you see the fake tear?
Yeah.
Pretty fucking verbatim as well.
But
Almost.
the thing, yeah. Well, I
Close.
Cliff noted
I
it.
edited for edited for time.
As he pours his beer.
Yes, but the thing that
You did that quietly this
As we
time.
went off
Yeah,
on
I
Banana
didn't do
Republic for 45 minutes.
yeah. So
But that story was real, and it was factual, and I was there.
There's
thanks there.
no doubt in
Pierce.
any of our
Just
fucking
bring
minds.
Banana
Yeah, I'm
Republic
sorry
up
about
again.
that.
Fuck. No, the thing is, what I do is literally this is what I did, and this was probably nothing to do with Banana Republic. Not too
But it
far
does.
into the you know, we get a lot of different magazines that come into the shop, right? And I'm not going to name anything. I just flip through them, right? What I do is I count ads. Who's got the full page ads,
Oh.
right? I'll flip through the full page ads. Okay, yeah, this one's got this many, 6, 8. And then you start looking at the ratings that they rated them.
Yeah.
I've noticed
Pretty
there's
similar.
a coalition between how many
yeah.
ads to how high their rating gets to be.
Yeah.
Now I'm not saying that could be just the way it worked out that time. I don't know.
Well, and you get a list
Well,
of 50, and
but
you're
hold
like,
on.
yep, nope,
Now,
yep,
hold
nope,
on a
nope,
second.
yep.
See, now that's interesting because you've been on this side for a little bit now,
Right.
Not forever. So that's an interesting perspective for me to hear from a new guy because that's been around forever, right?
Right.
So there's also the other hand on certain leading magazines, which shall go unnamed for this publication here. People believe that those magazines picked people when they were nobodies
Right.
and just kept boom, boom, boom promoting them that way.
There's
And those could be some of your leading brands today, or they could not be.
right. I look at it like politics, right? More money you put into something, the higher your rating scale could possibly be.
Well, I mean, look.
That's how I look
now,
at
now,
it.
now, now, let's take a fair, objective standpoint. Let's just say it's me and you going against Pierce. It's Pierce's publication, and we want 3 ads. Everybody else is doing 2. Don't you think we should have some say on where our ads go?
Yep.
So that also plays into sales. You don't think about it.
No,
but
it's-
where an ad is placed in a magazine,
Every page
whether
counts.
it's the third, half, or the 3/4 mark, all those are important. I'm not talking about the size of the ad.
Right.
I'm talking about the placement of the ad
Yep.
in the book. Where's the first? When you open any one of these magazines, how do you open it? You open it from the back, right?
Yeah.
Then you flip it to the front because you're like, oh yeah. So the first thing you see is the back 2 pages, the hardcover and the last page.
Right.
Because if you ever watch somebody pick up one of those magazines, that's what they do, and then
Yeah.
they turn it this way, and then they thumb through.
I just go for the fold out.
Well,
Yeah, that's usually.
you're trying
I've
to
done
find
that
your
too.
dad's
Yeah.
Playboy.
Yeah. I was severely
Cigar
disappointed
porn.
in all those.
Yeah.
But you know what also is disappointing? I'm getting older, and when I see those ads, I'm like, that girl looks 18.
Well, yeah, that's.
It's not only the 18, the girl doesn't look like she's smoking the cigar. There was one, didn't we run across one a couple months ago that the girl was actually blowing smoke out of her mouth, and it's like, holy shit. It's not a 1/4 inch of ash
Wow.
on every single fucking
Yeah.
thing. She actually had the cigar going down.
What?
Well, the one that came out here later,
Going
looked like
down.
she's burning her leg. So
Yeah,
she had
the
it
one that
literally
was burning
sitting on
her
her
ass,
leg,
yeah.
and I'm like, that thing's out.
Yeah.
That was the same girl where we noticed,
yeah,
something was airbrushed because something didn't look right.
yeah,
for
right,
sure.
yeah,
Yeah. And
There
you're
was
like,
an extra
wait a
hump
minute.
on that camel.
And I know if she would have paid attention, she wouldn't have wanted that extra hump. Because it didn't look right compared to the
I
other
don't
butt.
think she had any say in it.
No, but the other butt cheek was definitely flat.
yeah.
Is this how you hold a cigar?
Burn my you know what? You know, they got the cutters out there, so she's a burner.
I got it.
They're young ladies. They're making their living. It's fine.
Yeah, we got it. No, actually, and once again, even when we talk about cigars, right? It's all up to palate. It's all up to attitude. It's all up to. I mean, you see everything on YouTube or on any of these cigar. Some dude is great. Yeah, we're all going to look at this cigar today, and we're going to talk about it a little bit. And some dude's in his back porch.
I want a banjo all of a sudden.
Right. So, and then you got the other one that's all, in his fancy suit. He's got his, 3 fingers of whatever drink it is he's having.
Apple juice.
Today we're going to talk about this cigar and how luxurious it is. And blah, blah, blah. And you're like, all right,
Yeah.
cool. I mean,
And then there's the time lapse guy.
yeah, oh yeah.
Now we're into the second third of
Oh,
the
God.
second fourth of the cigar that has a fourth eighth on it.
It's got a small, fissure starting on the
So-
right quadrant.
Yeah.
So tell me what you guys don't like in a podcast.
It's
not-
all subjective.
Yeah, it's
No, it is.
subjective.
It is.
Just
It's
because
all
ours,
palates.
because ours is the best doesn't mean
Yeah.
that other people aren't.
Ours is the podcast known as America.
Right.
We're the youngest and the strongest. People just haven't figured it
Then
out.
we
yet.
got to get a new demographic on the fucking cameras or turn them off because we're
Yeah,
not the
we're-
youngest or the fucking strongest.
Now here's something. We were talking about downloads
Bunch of
today,
gray-haired old
and right. But here's what
my grass.
here's the tough trick. 38% of our social media is women, but how many people watch the podcast that are women? None.
I know of one.
The majority are 35 to 45-year-old men.
Yes.
Right.
On YouTube.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. See that? See how I got that in
Yeah,
there?
yeah.
Shoot that in there. Yeah.
Hey, by the way, thanks
That
for the
was
shout out, Cappy.
That was for Wilhelmina.
Wilhelmina.
Told you I'd get that name in.
I mean, you haven't said anything about fornication yet, so.
That's
You
because
just fucked that away. Thanks.
fornicating happens
Taking the fire
tomorrow.
away.
Fornicating happens tomorrow. It's usually on a Wednesday.
Yeah. Happy anniversary, by the way.
Duh. That's why I said it's happening on a Wednesday.
Yeah.
But I'm going to gamble and hope it happens on Saturday, too.
Double down.
Yeah, man. You're only 51 once. Because I'm not repeating my birthday from last year.
No.
Yeah. How you doing? Oh, we're gonna go out. And no, you're not. You're going on a fucking jet, and we're leaving. Okay, cool. Fuck. All right. Awesome.
Why can't
Peace
that
out.
happen? Why can't something like that happen when they're like, yeah, we're going to take the jet and we're going over to Vegas, and then we're going to hit L.A., and then we're going to fly back to Miami, and it's going to be a hell of a birthday for you.
Yeah.
No. Instead, hurry up, get your way back home, pick up a passport, stay awake, fly back, get your nose tickled, and get ready.
Nothing like getting the call first thing. Well, no, it was. I think you texted me like at 7:30, Ethan. Hey, when you get to work, can you make sure there's a passport and some other shit sitting outside the thing? I'm like, what the fuck are you talking? Yeah, okay. Hey, there's a passport and some other shit sitting out here.
That was crazy.
That's the moment that you realize that no phone call that you get at DTC really surprises you
That's
anymore.
why Ethan glued his passport to his ass now, because he's learned the lesson.
Excuse me, sir, can you flip up that kilt so I can verify your identity?
Yeah. That does not look like you. Ooh.
So if
Got
you
a
want
breakout going on? What's going on? No,
you were
I'm
looking
kidding.
for a new title for the thing, you could just say Off the Rails, and that would probably cover the whole fucking podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why, did we come off the rails?
No, I'd
Yes.
say this thing blew up in the fucking train station before you pulled out. But that's
There's
okay.
no rails at all.
I thought it was pretty good.
Oh, it is.
It
It
is.
is.
That's-
I've laughed quite a bit.
Well, you asked about an update.
I mean,
We got
updates
it.
of all different kinds.
Now,
I've got a little video that I could show too.
we got a
Ooh,
video.
shit. We get.
This is not from YouPorn.
Oh. Well, okay, I'm not in it.
Yes, come on, shorty, let's go. Girl, I see you over there in the corner of the dance floor, and I know you're getting shy, looking at the corner of your eyes. Take my heart up off the floor, move my feet closer to yours, catch my breath and I say, I'm the one you're looking for. So come on, dance a little dance. Take my hand, darling, take a chance. You be my queen, I'll be your king. Show you everything that you've been missing, shorty. So come on, dance a little dance. Got me in a trance.
Yeah,
just one
Tyler,
dance.
man.
Don't wait no more. I'm the amor. I'm the one you're looking for, shorty.
He's just like, Tyler, come on.
Girl, I see you over there
Now, on these,
hesitating,
Ethan could have told him to.
deliberating, keep me waiting on a side, looking at the corner of your eyes. Lift my feet up off the floor.
That was after a lot of sack
Move my
reps.
hips closer to yours. Catch my breath and I say,
Let me
I'm the
tell
one
you
you're
that
looking
oh man, that I wasn't complaining about. That's what I was doing. And that's how it happened.
All right.
Some things just don't need an explanation.
Yeah. You just let that one
I wasn't
go.
going to actually show that, and I'm prepared to edit it out, but
But if you're okay with it,
Fuck it, let it go.
that was just a
Let it
practical
buck.
joke. But
That was like, fuck you, Banana Republic. You cannot have this. This is great banana here. You want it? It's very sweet.
banana.
But yeah,
Republic does not get the banana hammock.
you see the things they can do in that box factory with the paint, man. They were creating, like, you know how that car goes by and then all of a sudden it's white and then it's pearl and then it's some other color and then it's pearl again and then it's white. They're doing that stuff.
I had Hot Wheels like that when I was a kid.
Yeah, this is just playtime. They're just creating. Raul gets to create so many different things.
I had red, white, and blue Legos. I mean, like, that was it.
And then, like Tyler, right, running the production, he also has to come back to the United States and also have a little sales territory, too.
Nice.
So he does a lot of different things.
All right.
Seems like there's a lot of different people, or a lot of people that work for CLE Asylum that have their
You don't hear me, but I'm shaking my head. No, you have one person doing a lot of different things.
That's what I'm saying.
Would you say that?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it's amazing. Oh, I thought
A
you
couple
meant.
of different. No, I'm saying a couple of different people
Yeah.
do a lot of different fucking.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. It's kind of like our shop, to be honest.
Welcome to 4D chess,
Yeah.
where you have to be thinking 4 weeks ahead of Christian
Oh man.
That would be hard.
and see the problem
Which-
and see the problem as the problem develops and have the solution as it's developing.
Which watching him just think is terrifying. That dude has so much shit going through his head at all times, and he's just
Hey,
like
Pierce,
a fucking calculator.
Pierce, here's what he's going to tell you: buy a house, you can do it. And he's right. Your first house can get your second house. It's like investing in yourself.
Right.
That's all it is.
Yeah.
But he was beating up Raul about it this time. Tyler bought his house, so now it's Raul's turn.
Oh boy.
Well, thank you everybody for tuning in. This has been a tremendous time to have this podcast. Just want to remind you that we're on all the socials. We are on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Pinterest. Yeah, right.
yes,
Yeah.
gotta like that one.
You can also go to our shop at www.deadwoodtobacco.com to order all your goods. Get some crown
The
heads.
5-pack.
Fucking 5-pack still.
What's that 5-pack cost?
48.
40.
Which 5-pack?
Wait.
Oh, the Crown Heads.
Yeah,
Never mind.
Crown Heads.
I'm thinking the other 5.
It
You
doesn't
just
cost
smoked the
anything
5-pack.
after you
Yeah.
fucking buy a box, baby.
See, that was the answer I was looking for.
Boom, baby.
Yeah.
And we always throw the Cracker Jack on top of whatever else we're running.
Cracker Jack. Make sure to give a call to Diana at 605-722-1510. Say hello and hang up. She loves it.
Rally Cigar will be out here in the middle of July.
Rally Cigar will be out here in the middle of July. I don't know if that was a voice prompt or not, but I'm going to use it as
Pretty
one.
sure it was.
And make sure that you're tuning in every other Monday to watch the DTC Blowing Smoke podcast just fucking go off the rails. Thank you very much, everybody. For me, Handsome
Except
Pierce.
Banana Republic.
Fuck Banana Republic. For me, Handsome Pierce, Mr. Bill, Stash. Everybody have a good night. Thank you very much.
We're out.
Ciao.
Jesus fuck.
Whatever shit show that was.